My darling, have you ever prayed for your enemy to fall down and instead it was you who landed inside the gutter of shame? Eh? Sit down well because this story will shock you. I am Aunty Gistina, the hottest gist giving auntie in town. And today I want to tell you about a small girl who turned into a lion overnight and nearly destroyed herself in the name of revenge. Once upon a time in the busy town of Eke, there lived a quiet, skinny girl named Tomisi. People called her Toothpick because of her small size. Even her teachers acted like she didn't exist. But the one person who made her life miserable every day was Deborah, the most popular girl in Hope High School. Deborah was tall, light skinned, and had long natural hair. She would always say things like, Thomasin, are you wearing your grandmother's cotton as uniform again? Or, if I slap you, you will disappear with the wind. The whole class would laugh. Thomasin would just smile and look down. But let me tell you something, even a gentle goat can bite when it's pushed to the wall. Every day she would wear that same faded uniform, her socks dropping down like tired plantain leaves. She always had this small smile on her face, like somebody who had given up fighting long ago. But behind that smile, my dear, was a storm. After school one hot afternoon, Thomasin walked home slowly, dragging her feet like her body was made of stone. When she reached her house, a small yellow building with cracked walls, her grandmother, Mama Keji, was sitting outside peeling egusi. You are back, Mama Keji asked. Yes, ma, Thomasin replied, forcing a smile. Mama Keji looked at her closely. Did they laugh at you again today? Thomasin paused. She didn't want to worry her grandmother. No, ma, I'm just tired. But deep inside, her heart was burning. Deborah had poured sand inside her water bottle that day and called it Gary water for dry bones. The whole class laughed and even one teacher chuckled. That night, Thomasin couldn't eat. She stared at the ceiling, tears soaking her pillow. Her voice trembled as she whispered into the darkness, God, are you seeing me? Why do you let them treat me like this? If you won't fight for me, then I will fight for myself. Hmm. That was the moment something shifted in her spirit. She didn't know when she stood up from her mat and opened her old locker. Inside was a small notepad she used to write poems. But that night, she didn't write a poem. She wrote her first plan. She titled it How to Silence Deborah. Omo, trouble was warming up like hot akara oil. When Thomasin woke up the next morning, you would think she swallowed a lion. Her eyes were sharp like a razor blade, her steps firm like she just collected an award for Best Actress in a Village Movie. She stood in front of the mirror, that small broken mirror by Mama Keji's window, and stared at herself. Then she whispered, Today, I am no longer the joke. She oiled her dry lips and borrowed lip gloss from the neighbor's daughter Blessing. Even her hair, usually rough like an untied sponge, was packed in a neat ponytail. She dusted her old sandals and tied her belt properly. She looked different. As she stepped into the school compound, people noticed. Is that Tomisi? One boy whispered. Why is she looking like she's going to slap somebody today? Even Deborah noticed. She looked Tomisi up and down and said loud enough for everyone to hear. So you think shiny lips will make you important now? But Tomisi didn't answer. She looked Deborah dead in the eye and walked past. A woo! It was like thunder clapped in the classroom. That's when people knew something was cooking. My dear, if you thought Tomisin was just walking boldly for fashion, you don't know anything. This girl was planning war inside her small head oh. During lunch break, she sat at the back of the school field with her one and only friend, Ijoma, a girl who liked quiet and food more than trouble. Ijoma, Tomisin said, her voice low, I want to bring Deborah down. Ijoma almost dropped her akara. Bring who down? Deborah, the queen of insult, the senior devil herself. Are you okay? Tomisin nodded slowly. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of hiding. She messed with the wrong girl. Now, let me tell you something, my pikin. Tomisin wasn't just small. She was smart, very smart. She had a brain like pepper, small but powerful. She started watching Deborah closely, who she spoke to, where she went during break, even what she whispered on the phone. One evening, as she stayed behind to mop the classroom, she saw Deborah laughing and entering the staff office, but she wasn't alone. Mr. Ken, the fine youth copier that all the girls were crushing on, followed her inside and locked the door. Thomas's eyes widened. She said, so this is your secret. And just like that, Operation Bring Deborah Down began. You see, revenge is like a pot of bitter leaf soup. If you don't cook it well, it will poison you. But Thomasin didn't care. She was cooking her revenge with pepper, crayfish, and full fire. At home that night, she wrote everything she had seen in a small diary. She titled it Deborah's Fall. Even the title self sounded like a Nollywood film. The next day, she called Ijoma again. I want to write an anonymous letter, she said, eyes shining. I'll tell the principal that Deborah is doing extra lessons with Mr. Ken. Ijoma blinked twice. Tomia, this is serious, so what if you get caught? What if it backfires? But Tomisin was determined. Nobody ever helped me. Now I'm helping myself. She folded the letter neatly, wrote in block letters, confidential, for the principal's eyes only, and dropped it inside the school's suggestion box. She wiped her hands like someone who just finished fighting in the market. Let the drama begin, she whispered. And oh, my sweet listener, drama came with marching band and fireworks. By the time Monday morning came, it be like say Wahala wore high heels and danced into that school. During the assembly, Principal Mrs. Olanrewaju wore a long face like an old yam. She didn't even smile as usual. She just stood and said, Mr. Ken, Deborah, and all class prefects, report to my office now. Tomisin stood quietly, acting like she was thinking about her mathematics test, but inside her heart, boom boom, boom boom. It was drumming like a talking drum. Ijoma gave her a small side eye. Tomisin blinked twice. No words. Inside the staff room, voices were flying up and down. It's a lie, Ma, Deborah was shouting. Someone is trying to destroy me. Mr. Ken was sweating too. I don't know where this nonsense is coming from. It's a lie. But you know women like Madame Olanrewaju. Her eyes were sharper than a razor. Why is your name the only one in this kind of complaint? Why were you both seen alone in the staff office with the door locked? Deborah started crying like someone whose chicken ran away. Tomisin saw her wiping nose and making noise like, I will find whoever did this. She didn't know the person was watching her from afar, drinking sachet water and smiling like a slow poison. That day, they suspended Deborah from being prefect, and Mr. Ken, he got a warning letter. Boom, 1 point for Tomisin. After Deborah's fall, the school atmosphere changed small small. People started greeting Tomisin well. Even people who used to ignore her were now saying, Good morning, Tomisin. Wow, your hair is nice today. She even got chosen to lead assembly, something that had never happened before. During break, one girl named Favour walked to her with chinchin and said, I like how brave you are. You stood up for yourself. You're strong. Tomisin smiled but didn't say much because deep down, guilt was crawling up like an uninvited visitor. Tomisin smiled but didn't say much because deep down, guilt was crawling up like an uninvited visitor. Ijoma noticed it too. Tommy, are you okay? You don't look happy. I don't know, she said quietly. I thought I'd feel powerful, but instead I feel like I became just like her. Ah, you see how revenge works. But don't go yet oh, because as Tomisi was trying to wash her hands off the matter, a bigger twist was preparing like beans on fire. Oh, just when Tomisi thought it was all over, Wahala came back wearing lace and gele. One morning, Mama Kiji called her from outside. Tomisi, come here. Come and see what they pasted on our gate. She rushed outside and saw a big paper glued to the rusty gate. Her name was on it in capital letters. It read, Beware of Tomisin. She brings people down with lies. I am telling you. The whole neighborhood gathered like Owampi crowd. Which kind small girl is this? Is this the girl who made that teacher almost lose his job? She looks quiet oo, so na she dey spoil peoples name. Tomisin froze. Her heart dropped into her stomach. Her secrets were no longer secrets. That evening she cried in Mama Keji's lap. Grandma, I just wanted her to stop. I didn't want this. Mama Keji sighed and stroked her hair. My child, revenge is a blade with two edges. One side cuts your enemy, the other side it cuts you too. And like that, the fire Tomisin lit was starting to burn more than just her enemies. My dear, when word spread that Tomisin was behind the letter that scattered Deborah and Mr. Ken's name, our whole world turned upside down. The same classmates who were smiling at her just yesterday, they started hissing when she walked by. Look at her, one boy whispered. She's the reason Mr. Ken nearly lost his NYSC posting. Snitch, backstabber, enemy of progress. Even teachers changed their behavior. Mrs. Ada, who used to pat her back and say, Well done, my bright girl, now passed her like a breeze. Tomisin sat at the back of the class, silent. Her eyes were red, not from pepper, but from tears she cried in the toilet when nobody was looking. Only Ijoma stayed by her side. Tommy, I warned you, this thing don pass the level. You need to fix it before it swallows you. Tomisin sniffled. Well, how do I fix something that's already broken? And just as she was trying to find peace, her mother, Mama Tomisin, stormed the school with a wrapper tied under her armpit and anger in her chest. The school gate had never seen such drama before. Mama Tomisin didn't even wait for permission. She walked straight into the principal's office. Where is the teacher that's stressing my child? Where are the children spoiling her name? Principal Olarewaju tried to calm her down. Madam, we understand you're upset, but don't madam me, she fired back. Since when did it become a crime to speak the truth? My daughter wrote one letter. Now everybody is treating her like a criminal. Outside the office, students gathered like ants on sugar. Tomisin was hiding in the library when she got called. Your mother is causing a scene outside. Come and carry her. She rushed there only to find her mother shouting and holding her shoe in the air like she wanted to flog somebody. Come home, Jerry, Mama shouted. Let them keep their school and their bad manners. But Tomisin didn't want to leave. She wanted to fix it, not run. So she took her mother aside. Mommy, please, if you fight for me now, I won't be able to face anyone again. Let me handle this my own way. Mama looked at her surprised. Are you sure? Yes, it's time I face what I started. The next day, Tomisin stood before the whole class during moral instruction. Her hands were shaking, but her voice, clear like early morning harmattan. I know many of you are angry at me, she began. Some of you feel betrayed. Maybe you're right. The class was quiet. I was hurt, and I thought the only way to heal was to hurt back, but I didn't think about what it would cost me or other people. She paused. Even Deborah looked shocked. I'm sorry. I didn't write that letter to destroy anyone. I just wanted someone to understand how I felt, but I went about it the wrong way. Silence. Then one clap from Ijoma, then another and another. Soon the whole class was clapping. Not everyone forgave her immediately, but that day something changed. Deborah walked up to her later and said, You still embarrassed me, but at least you owned up. I respect that. Tomisin smiled slightly. I don't expect us to be friends, but thank you. Deborah nodded. Just don't cross me again. I'm still Deborah. Hehehe. You see, even bad girls can appreciate honesty when it slaps them gently. 2 weeks passed. The storm began to settle. Students stopped whispering as Thomasin walked by. Some even returned her smile. But just as she was beginning to breathe again, a note dropped on her locker. She opened it. The handwriting was stylish, like someone that grew up in Lekki. Meet me behind the school library. After classes, come alone. D. Her heart skipped. Was it Deborah? Was it a trap? Ijoma, she whispered. I got a note. What if she wants to beat me? Ijoma rolled her eyes. If you like, don't go. But me, I like drama. Go and face your fate. Oh. And guess what? Our Thomasin went. Behind the library, standing like a Nollywood boss lady, was Deborah, chewing gum and leaning on the wall. You came, you called. There was a short silence. Then Deborah said something unexpected. I know it wasn't all your fault. I did a lot too. I bullied you, laughed at your clothes, teased your shoes. Maybe I deserved what I got. Tomisin was shocked. Her jaw nearly fell. Deborah threw the gum into the dustbin and said, I'm transferring schools next term. My parents want me out of this drama. But before I leave, I want to do something good. Like what? Let's do something together, a project, something that shows growth. Ooh, from enemies to partners, who would have guessed? Just like that, the unlikeliest duo, Debra, the ex bully, and Tomisin, the ex victim, started working together. They created a project called Better Together. It was a mini awareness campaign about bullying, forgiveness, and speaking out. They painted posters, wrote short stories, even organized a class debate titled Revenge or Forgiveness, Which One Wins? And guess who won Best Speaker? Tomisin. The students were shaking, the teachers were impressed, and Principal Olarewaju, she wore a proud face like gele. This is what true leadership looks like, she said during morning assembly. Growth, maturity, purpose. Tomisin was invited to talk at the next inter-school gathering. Mama Keji nearly cried when she heard, Ah, my pikin that used to cry under the mango tree. Now you are a speaker. My God is alive. Even Mama Tomisin bought new lace just to attend. But as they say, not all endings are sweet. Something still hung in the air. Mr. Ken. After all the noise died down, Tomisin knew she had one more thing to do. Face the teacher she nearly destroyed. One afternoon, she knocked on the staff room door gently. Come in, he said. She entered. Mr. Ken looked up. His eyes were tired. Tomisin. Yes, sir. I I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. For not telling you to your face. For letting my pain speak louder than my senses. Mr. Ken didn't speak for a moment. Then he sighed deeply. You know, when I joined this school, I thought I was going to change lives. But your letter almost ended my career. I was angry, but now I see you've grown, and that matters. Tomisin's voice cracked. I was broken, and instead of asking for help, I fought with fire. He nodded. And now you are learning how to heal with water. I forgive you. Tears welled in her eyes. She bowed her head. Thank you, sir. As she walked out of that office, a breeze blew through the hallway. She felt light, like she finally dropped the heavy bag she had been carrying for months. Months passed. Deborah transferred schools, just like she said. And even though they weren't best friends, Tomisin missed her presence. They always felt quieter, lighter. But our girl, she was shining like the early morning sun. Her confidence returned. She started helping other quiet students, the ones who sat alone, who wore torn socks, or who always came late because they had to fetch water before school. One of them, a short boy named Tolu, whispered to her one day, Thanks for standing up for me when Sheyi pushed my locker. You are kind. Tomisin smiled. I wasn't always kind, but I'm learning. She didn't become popular, no, but she became respected, which is better. Ijeoma, her ride or die bestie, would often say, Tomi, if I ever vex you, just tell me o. Don't write another letter, abeg. They'd laugh and laugh. But one particular Friday, something happened that shook her a little. It was the school speech and prize giving day. Parents came dressed like they were going for a wedding. There was rice, there was Fanta, even the DJ was playing songs outside. Tomisin sat with her mother under the blue canopy, just enjoying the moment. Then she heard her name. And now, an award for outstanding personal growth and contribution to the school community goes to Miss Tomisin Adeoye. People clapped. Her mother jumped up. Hey, that's my daughter. Oh, somebody hold me. Tomisin went up the stage, but when she looked to her right, she saw him, Mr. Ken, smiling gently from the front row. Their eyes met, and in that moment, everything came full circle. He didn't need to speak, she didn't need to wave, but both of them knew this was the ending they both needed. Later that day, after the music had died down and people were heading home, Mr. Ken approached her. Tomisin, he said, I heard what you said during your speech. You've grown into someone I'm proud to have taught. Thank you, sir. I didn't want to end my story with bitterness. He nodded slowly. Bitterness is a prison, but healing, that's freedom. And my darling, that day, as the sun began to set over the rooftops of Community Grammar School, our Tomisin, the once broken girl who chased revenge, finally walked free. You see, revenge dey sweet for 5 minutes, but growth and peace dey sweet for lifetime. That's the lesson. That's the real juice. That's the Gistina guarantee. So tell me, my sweetie, which story should Aunty Gistina cook for you next? I'm sitting here with a wrapper and fan, waiting for your next order.